want to know, when you sit there and say, let us lead, could you define? I think that's what Alice was trying to get to. I think, I'm not sorry if you weren't, if I'm just putting words in your mouth, but I thought she's trying to get to define how you want to lead. Define how you say you can't lead. Please explore that statement.
Yes.
Don't just sit there and throw it out and keep it pushing.
Yeah,
And then
why do you what is hindering you from leading? Like what is stopping you?
We talk too much.
You want me to expunge on it?
No, I'm being dead serious, because we always talk about it, but we never say like what is the solution. We can talk about it all day, but like what, asking as a man, because you all are so very simple supposedly. So what is it?
What's the solution? I said it. Fall in line.
No, I'm asking. No, okay, maybe I'm sorry. What are you thinking? How do you lead? How do you lead your family? How do you lead your household? Is what I'm asking.
Gotcha.
The part is, wait, can I get my question out there? Y'all talking too much, right? Can I get my question out? How do you lead? How do you want to lead? And what are you saying are the symptoms that makes you think you can't lead? That's all I want to know. I think it's very esoteric. I want to get concrete answers, please.
Absolutely. So how should a man lead? Number one, I think the man should lead based off of chill Q. Number one, I think a man should lead, it should be based off of service. Right. So one, being able to assess the needs of the people that you are leading. You know what I'm saying? I think that's number one. Two, a man needs to be able to be confident in himself and in his decision making and be able to be responsible. Right. So knowing that, okay, if I'm gonna have to provide for y'all, it's all on me. I think that what makes it difficult, and I think Hamp said it too, like it's our fault for being in this situation. So I don't think the answer is simply women fall in line, because y'all have been hurt so much by us. How it's dumb for us to expect that to even be possible. So since men are the one who caused it, we have to provide a space for women to heal. And I don't think we do that very well. You know what I'm saying? I feel like asking a woman who has been manipulated, taken advantage of by men who say all of the right things, but then don't do them. Right? Yeah, baby girl, I love you, but all we really want is the cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So when you have all of these women who have been so abused.
Adrian, that's not exclusive to the question, though. Right? So
it is.
That manipulation is not what causes our women to be out of order. In the Western world, we have given women all the opportunity, right? There's systematic things that oppress Black men specifically that put women in charge, right? There's things from the history in the past that put us under our women. It ain't about Bill Bellamy and how to be a player. That's not the reason why our women act as such in totality.
But I think it's I think it plays a huge part of it. Like, I get everything that has happened to put them above us, but the majority, like, think about it from this perspective, right? 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted. 1 in 3 girls, like, growing up. So that's a third of the people who, outside of everything else that has happened, who has been taken advantage of by a man. So that's off rip, 1/3 of them. 1/3. That doesn't even take into account the lying. Like, I done took down hundreds of them lying. You know what I'm saying? And then when you look at everything else, so I'm just saying we got to control the things that we can control. And I think it's too much point in saying y'all just got to do this, y'all just got to do that. I feel like women are at a point now where they're
you saying that because they've been taken advantage of sexually, that they don't trust us to lead?
Absolutely. Because they that is, and because they've been taught it.
You think that is
it's so much trauma, bro.
Men have difficulty leading women who believe that they should be partners. There is no leadership with a partner.
Are you kidding me,
Sean? My thing is, why don't they want to be partners though?
Because they grew up thinking that independence was the route to success.
Yeah,
We have
so
partnerships
Sean-
in
that
businesses.
plays
What are
a
you
role. Hold
talking
on,
about?
hold on.
Yeah,
That
Sean
also
said it
plays a
best.
role.
business. That's not in the house.
My
though.
God, Sean
In
said
the
it
house.
best before. Go ahead, Sean.
I just find it difficult to believe that somebody who is seeking a partner is also seeking to be led and be submissive. That I don't think those qualities mix. I think I think you have to be Asia. Maybe you are the evolved. You are the next evolution, right? Maybe that's the case. But in my experience, that hasn't been accurate.
So what I'm
Someone
saying
who is
is, let
seeking
me
a
be
partnership, but is also willing to be submissively led.
let
But I
me
think
be
you're
the yin
speaking in
to your
absolute.
yang. Is what I'm saying. Like I can be submissive, right? We can be partners, but I can still be led. But let me be the strength and where you're weak, and where you're weak, or vice versa, right? When you're weak, I'm strong in those areas. Like we have to acknowledge that is the best way for us to move forward as a unit, right? A unit can't be the strongest link, and that's it. And then the guy weakest link over here because you're not allowing me to be a partner with you.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that, Asia, because we have no historical evidence where that's been successful.
Being partners, men and women being partners. You haven't seen that being historical evidence in that?
No.
You haven't read your history books? Okay, so let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Go ahead, school me.
There are plenty of instances in which women and men have been partners. Back in Africa, I forgot. I know I'm gonna get roasted for this one. In there, y'all know what I'm about to say, right? So back in Africa, there were warrior women that protected the kingdom, right?
Come on.
The men,
What?
Bub left. Oh, but Bub didn't like that.
Is this going to tie into relationships, like modern day relationships somehow?
That's bullshit.
I'm giving you, asked for history lesson, child, and I'm trying to give it to you.
I understand history.
Say don't interrupt. Let her finish.
I'm just I wanted to tie into modern day relationships.
Women can't finish this episode. Men have to be able to finish this episode.
Man, what are you? You're not talking about the tribe from that movie, right?
No, I'm not. No, are you? No,
I just want to tie it into modern day relationships. Just help me out. Educate me.
No, you say there's no history of that working. I'm telling you, there was history of that working.
Are you talking about the woman king tribe?
No, that was beyond that. They weren't the only.
Hamp, stop interrupting Asia. I want Asia to educate me on this, please.
Yeah, because she's doing a bad job. Go ahead, Asia.
I mean, if I can get interrupted every 30 seconds, of course I can get my point out. No, what's wrong with it? So I'm laughing at the comments. Y'all are crazy. What I'm saying is there is partnerships. In my original statement, Nay had said it, was even in business, the most successful businesses have a good partnership. There's a visionary and there's an executor, right?
Wait a minute. I gotta quote Q, but they not fucking each other in business.
But they can't, but
sometimes they do. But go ahead.
What is wrong with running a family as a business? Seriously,
because a business is you can run a business as a corporation. That's not the home. That's not house.
The point is, it's a unit. They have their role. The other person has their role, and that's in business as well. There's no
organizational structure. But go ahead.
What?
Organizational structure. There's a CEO.
So
you have a CFO. You have a COO. Then you have your board of trustees. That's what you have. It's an organizational structure.
Wait. Are they equal? Oh, let's use the structure that
they're not. No, they're not equal. But there's still a partnership. So the CEO is the head. Then you have a CFO.
So what happens when they have to make a decision?
The CEO usually makes a decision, but he also goes to his board of trustees. He reports to them.
Are you saying he doesn't report to them? It's the CEO. Unless you're talking about a board of trustees that are investors, but that's a totally different structure. But so just stick to something more layman so people can understand. If you have a CEO, COO, CFO, what happens if they're in a debate and they can't come to a conclusion? Who makes the decision?
Well, it depends on the roles and responsibilities.
Good God Almighty! If it's a CEO, a CFO, and a COO, what happens if they need to make a decision?
The one where money makes a decision. Just like if a man can't lead protect.
All right, Isha. Before you go off the rails, like I know you want to, somebody please on the bottom row just answer what I'm asking in the hypothetical.
Yes, Hamp, to that point, that's why I said Sean was speaking in absolutes. I get exactly where you're going. And so what Miss Nay, I think, is saying is truth to that as well. There's a hierarchy, right?
There's a hierarchy, yes.
Yes. You're
so guess
still
what? In the hierarchy, the
what you're speaking
COO
to,
and the
but what you're
CEO
speaking to,
they're not partners though in the
listen,
hierarchical structure.
Listen, my nigga, they are. What you're speaking to, what I'm
Where do
hearing
you
you
work?
guys are speaking to is equality. You're saying the same.
No.
There's
You
not
don't
the
have
same.
to.
There's
You don't
a
have to
fucking hierarchy.
define it, Q, with some shit you've been thinking about. Just
No.
answer the question that I'm asking. So
Okay.
if there's a CEO and a COO and a CFO and they are having an issue, the CEO has the responsibility and authority to make the decision. So are we saying that women are looking for? Oh my God, we understand, right? But you have to keep these niggas is nuts.
Yeah. What are you saying? We saying the
well,
same
what I'm
shit.
saying is,
you just want to sound
because
eloquent with
y'all
it.
not answering. You about to do some
That was
spin
an
shit
answer.
like you try to do, but we run it back.
The CEO is the
fuck
CEO.
that.
You're trying so hard to
Yeah.
make a strong point.
So
It's the
at
same
that point, do you guys agree that the CEO has the authority to move forward if they can't come to an agreement?
Yes, the CEO does not. That's
in this simple hypothetical. So now, are women saying that they would agree to this type of construct?
There is women that
They're
would.
saying they're submissive to that kind of construct.
Absolutely.
But you guys are speaking in absolutes, making it seem like they're looking to be like, you want to be the same thing. No, nobody has said that this whole time. It was Sean who spoke in absolutes as making partnerships seem like it's like we're doing the same thing and having the same roles.
It's different roles and responsibilities.
Which every woman that I've heard speak on that spoke to that hierarchy and spoke to being submissive.
But they weren't
So I'm like, you're trying to make that point. You're making the same fucking point. You're just not listening.
They're not listening.
Every partnership is not.
Well, I don't believe it. That's why.
Not my problem.
Because you're thinking of it in a different way.
Why don't you believe it?
Like we said before, what do you guys see as submissive?
Go ahead, Alex. What were you saying?
They got silent. They don't know. They got silent.
Well, I mean, just going back to the question that I was asking, Bub says you fall back. You fall in line. You do what I tell you to do. Sean, how do you then, if I
wait, hold on, Alex, hold on. I ain't say that shit. I didn't say do what I tell you to do.
You fall back. You fall back. You fall in line.
That's what fall in line is.
That's what I heard.
Bub, don't play with me. You know what you said, and I know what you said. Don't do that.
This shit recorded.
They do something different than what you said. They out of line.
Sean, what is your answer?
Yeah. You got to ask the question again, Alex.
The question was, if giving me an example, if I am in the lead currently, right? How do you come in and how do you then remove me from the lead role? How do you lead me? What would be the template for if we had a family? How would you lead? So that I don't have to.
Well, I would say everybody's dynamic is different. In my history and my experience in relationships, I don't have to dethrone you to be the leader. I walk in the room with a presence. I carry myself with confidence. There's no, it's okay, cool. We go with my decision.
But there's only one CEO. Like Hamp said, there's only one CEO. So it's me or you.
The whole corporation.
That's what I just said. That's what I just said.
No,
okay, so Hamp answer the question. Then you answer the question.
This has actually been happening when guys been answering. They laughing, they not listening. Right? It's not funny.
You're projecting.
Men have no. I'm just looking at you laughing. They fell back on her chair when Sean said he had a presence. Yeah, I'm not projecting. What are you talking about? I'm looking.
So then, Hamp, how do you take back control?
So you don't have to take back control. We already understand it, right? Or else I'm not with that woman. The key is women got to stop thinking that they are what they are not. I don't need you to put a battery in my back, right? I need you to do the things. Go ahead, Alex. The question. Go ahead.
Sorry, Hamp.
It's okay. Go ahead.
In conclusion, my point is that we keep saying that we want you all want to be in the lead because women are currently in the lead. But when I am asking every one of you the question, everyone is saying a different answer. So how can we collectively as a whole get back into position and get back into place?
Alex, there are several things that can be done though, that need to be done. It's not going to be one watch this, the interruptions, the dismissive nature of all the answers are showing the issue, right? You can talk, you can say that you're listening, right? But it depends on how you're listening. Everybody on the bottom row, with the exception of Q and a little bit of Isha, is listening to refute, or they think it's funny. But these are real answers that need to be acknowledged or not. And you'll stay in the same place that you're in. Because we are not successful with this type of attitude and with this type of energy as a whole in our culture. The reason why I wanted to ask that question is because if women think that they are men's motivation and you got to push us to do certain, we don't need that. The men that are supposed to be in charge and lead, we don't need that from you, right? We just don't. But it's hard for y'all to consume this information. I'm trying to understand why.
Facts.
We out.